And India's External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar arrived in Sri Lanka on Friday for a day-long visit. Dr. Jaishankar met with his counterpart Vijita Herat. Both leaders held discussions and reviewed various dimensions of India-Sri Lanka partnership. During his visit, the minister will meet with country's newly elected leadership. Dr. Jaishankar will call on President Anura Kumara Dissanayake and Prime Minister Harini Amarasurya. The visit underlines India's neighbourhood first policy and Sagar, which is security and growth for all in the region outlook. Dr. Jaishankar's visit aims to further deepen the long-standing partnership of both countries for mutual benefit. All right, let's go across to Colombo. DD India's Dr. Ahmed Muin Faruqi is joining us live from there. Dr. Faruqi, first ever visit by any foreign minister after President Dissanayake assumed office. What all can we expect from the visit?
This is actually, frankly speaking, if you ask me, it's a very significant moment for Sri Lanka. Primarily speaking, the entire Sri Lanka has usually voted for centre or centre to the right kind of leadership. And this is for the first time that we are seeing a leftist government that is in power. And at this point of time, people have been having a lot of hopes from the government. And the government has recognized that going forward, it will need strategic partnerships with various countries, primarily with India. And this is reflecting in the sense that the first foreign envoy to meet the President Dissanayake was, in fact, the Indian High Commissioner, Santosh Jha, as well as the first Foreign Affairs Minister who has come to island nation of Sri Lanka to meet the President is Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. Here we have to remember that India-Sri Lanka relations have been on an upward trajectory over the last 10 years under the neighbourhood first policy propounded by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. However, over the last 2.5 to 3 years, the strategic partnership with Sri Lanka has gone to further new heights. Primarily because, during the time that you're talking about, Sri Lanka was coping through the economic crisis, the peak of the economic crisis. And that point of time, India came forward with a huge, unprecedented assistance of over $4 billion, $4.5 billion, if I'm not wrong. And this scale and the swiftness with which it was executed and provided to the island nation was remarkable, and it was unprecedented. And this is something that has imprinted on the minds of Sri Lankan leadership as well as the Sri Lankan people, and expectedly that this will have a huge amount of goodwill associated with it, and this will take forward the Indo-Sri Lanka relations further.
All right, Dr. Faruqi, you said Dr. Jaishankar's visit is expected to review ties between the two countries and look at the future prospects also under the new leadership in Colombo. But do you think this visit is an opportunity for India to hear about Disanayake's plans, maybe on Indian investments, views on regional security and others too?
You see, if you look at the JVP itself, it had Marxist underpinnings and bearings earlier, but it had approached more centrist kind of an approach as the time passed in over the last 5-6 years. Earlier this year, we had also seen that President Dissanayake, when he was parliamentarian only, he was invited to India under Sri Lanka-India Parliamentary Friendship Association. And he had meetings with the Indian External Affairs Minister, Dr. Jaishankar, NSA, as well as Foreign Secretary at that point of time. They discussed a lot of opportunities that exist between the two countries, as well as investments that could happen in Sri Lanka from the Indian side. Going forward over the next 5 years, it will be a very interesting kind of a take with what will happen between Dr. Jaishankar as well as the leadership here in Sri Lanka, because they will definitely plan out how Sri Lanka will want to emerge from the economic crisis. And Dr. Jaishankar, in fact, earlier in his visits to Sri Lanka, he has talked that the way forward for Sri Lanka will not be through lines of credit or through grants, but it will primarily be through investments. And India is keenly looking forward towards partnering with Sri Lanka through investments here. And this is something which is very, very vital, not just because it is going to bring in FDI technology, but also it's going to create jobs. And that is something which is very, very vital for Sri Lanka as of now.
All right, Dr. Faruqi, we'll leave it at that. Thank you for getting us the latest from Colombo.